So I guess this is where you go to get digitally penetrated. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. We're back with another edition of Indie Digital Penetration. I'm going to talk about some new music, some new indie pop, indie rock, and something we'd probably file under post-punk towards the back end of this edition. Yeah, I don't know if you can see right there. That is a skyscraper being under construction. That's the occasional clanging that you hear. I'm having some issues with lighting, and there's this combination of natural light and heat that, sometimes you have to make trade-offs. First up, we have the 5th LP from the Nottingham, England group that go by the name the Soundcarriers. 5th full-length LP, it's called Through Other Reflections. Yeah, the Soundcarriers kind of live in a similar pool as Stereolab, Broadcast, that kind of thing, with the psychedelic, krautrock influenced exotica type sound with the kind of delicious harmonies. But this has kind of a bit of a different lean to Stereolab and Broadcast. So this actually has like a good deal of, I would say, like 60s pop psych, 60s bubblegum, bubblegum pop vibes pretty much throughout. The free design definitely comes to mind, as you can imagine, but it is a bit more organic of a sound, let's say, than Stereolab and Broadcast. It's sometimes, I would say, a fair amount, even a bit like acid folk, psych folky, with even like flute involved. And again, psych folky in that late 60s, early 70s sort of way, UK, I would say like UK acid folk. So dreamy, cool vibes, kind of baroque, trippy, a little like, with that like cinematic thing going on, cinematic grooves. Even has a bit of like South Asian sounds, Latin vibes for sure. I'd say if this sounds intriguing to you, definitely would recommend checking out pretty much any of their full lengths. I think are recommended. Very consistent and strong overall. So the name of the band is the Soundcarriers. The album is called Through Other Reflections, and it's on their own label out now. The label is called Phosphonic. We have a debut release from a band currently based in Los Angeles called just Slippers, and their debut release is called So You Like Slippers. It's out on Lamo Records. So really like a scruffy, female-fronted, lo-fi, garagey power pop, a little jangle, a little crunch in the guitars. I saw them cite as an influence the Athens scene of the late 90s, the Elephant Six type bands. Certainly you can get some of that influence on here. One band that comes to mind that's Elephant Six but not from Athens is Dressy Bessie. That I think is, you can hear a bit of Dressy Bessie if you listen hard enough. So without sounding like a broken record, I don't want to dwell on this. I will just point out that this record is 10 tracks, 18 minutes long. So it's a short, very short, I would call, LP. It maybe even is a stretch to call it an LP, a mini LP, we could say 18 minutes. So yeah, super short, sugary sweet, catchy tunes. I'm definitely digging this. For the indie pop, power pop fans out there, like I say, if you like Dressy Bessy, you might find something to latch onto here. The name of the artist is Slippers, and the album is called So You Like Slippers, out on Lamo Records.
I'm not gonna lock you out, just gonna walk out for now. Maybe that's our way, maybe that's our way, maybe that's our way. Make it all okay, make it all okay. Do you know? If I said that I wanted you, would you want me to dream forever? If I said that I needed you, would you need me to dream forever? Or only when we're heading nice weather?
Up next, this is another debut release. This is another band out of the UK. The band is called New Starts, and the album is called More Breakup Songs, out on Fika Recordings. Yeah, so this is a new band started by Darren Hayman, who is best known, or I believe I would say is best known as being the lead vocalist, leader of the late 90s, early 2000s band Hefner, that we all like here, of course. So this dabbles in kind of that late 70s, early 80s, new wave-ish, garagey, little pub rocky sound with, Darren's, I call somewhat distinct vocal style, very clever lyricism. Yeah, so the band, again, New Starts, that also features members of the band's Adults and Tiger Cats, also, English artists. Right now, I'm definitely digging the more upbeat numbers on here, much more so, I think, than the slower, the handful of slower tracks, but that might change. This one just came out as most of these have. Yeah, artist is called New Starts, and the album is More Breakup Songs, and it's out now on Fika Recordings.
I lost my way from June down to May. I've got a little stone that can carry its weight. You travel slow, I'm too fast. I've got a little soul in my heart. Your smile goes because it's not fair that we're not young, but it's alright that we're undone. We will stop time and dream hard with you again. But it's not you and it's not me.
Next up, this one's actually been out for a little bit. I was going to talk about this earlier and kept kicking it back. This is another English band from Sheffield, England, 5-piece band, and another debut full-length release. They're called Dearthworms, so like earthworms with a D at the beginning, and then the name of the album is called Sapsucker, and this is out on Redundant Span Records. Yeah, so 5-piece band, kind of a post-punk thing, but also sort of noise rock, and occasionally veers into kind of a riff rocky thing. At one point, I was kind of reminded of the 90s UK post-punk band called Prolapse, and I think specifically because of the vocals, it has that contrasting male-female vocals that play off each other and kind of sometimes are almost cheerleader style vocals. Some of this album feels like it crawled out of a dark corner someplace. Yeah, I would just say at times a little bit bizarre. The album as a whole, I would say, doesn't fully work for me, but the songs that do work for me work very well. I do think that some other people would enjoy this on a whole more than I do, like get into the kind of wonkiness of it all. Anyway, again, the band is called Dearthworms, and the album is called Sapsucker. It's out on Redundant Span Records.
Do a